we are again. It's Rabid Rabbit Farms. My name is Thumper. It's day 2. 4:32 in the morning, game time. Since we have it set to the default of 1 day equals 1 month, it is now September. Got a number of activities required for this month. Take a look at a couple. First of all, in 2 of the fields that we inherited, there is sorghum and... oh, I'm forgetting what was in the other one now. I'm going to have to go look because I forgot. Yeah, we should be doing some harvesting activities here. Which one was this? This is the sorghum. Oh, and it is ready to harvest, so that's the advantage of flipping over months. These are the soybeans. That's what we had over here. Now, I don't know where we were for timing on soybeans. That's going to be next month at the earliest. And of course, if I take a look at the growth stats here, that is dark green, so that tells me got a really good chance that that's going to be ready to harvest tomorrow, i.e. next month. So that means our primary day 2 activities, in addition to harvesting our sorghum, which is ready, I was also waiting for the planting window for wheat. So we're going to do some wheat planting. And that's going to be in these 2 fields. 30 and 52, we're going to plant wheat today. And we're going to harvest the sorghum out of 46. Also going to keep an eye on the chickens and the greenhouse. See how those do in 1 day. And keep our eye out for some lucrative contracts. So that's the plan for today. We are live on Twitch. 4:30 in the morning seems like an appropriate time for a farmer to get started, so why not? Not sure where the sun's going to come from here. The moon looked like it came up somewhere over here, and looks like it's going down somewhere over here. So that makes me feel like we're in the extreme northern latitudes here if the sun rises and sets both very much to the south. So let's see what happens. Believe we are online now. Yes, we are. Oh, the chat is coming up. Good evening, Kodak. Welcome back. Let's see what I can do in the dark here. I believe I'm going to be using my harvester on this sorghum. It looks like the kind of thing that needs that, but I'll probably figure that out from the buying menu here. Usually it tells you what things can do. Harvester that I bought. Yeah, that looks right to me. I'm looking at the correct icon, I hope there. Sorghum is the little plant with the dots on the top, which was in fact listed for that, so I think we're good for that. Now the question is, it is a very small field. Oops. Oh, look, got plenty of lights on this thing, that's nice. Because that field is so small, I can only imagine we should be able to harvest the whole thing without needing to be emptied midway. So I'm not going to worry about picking up the trailer at this point. I'm going to worry about harvesting here. Kodak says, don't buy 2. You're correct. Thankfully, I already own this harvester. So I'm going to not go buy anything for the moment. On day 1, I made the mistake of buying 2 tractors, completely by accident. I actually did end up buying 2 tractors by the end of the day, but one less expensive tractor because I didn't really need 2 really expensive tractors. Let's see if I can sneak in here. I'm trying not to back up and run over my other field because I'm fairly certain it will damage that crop if I do that. So I'm very tempted to let the computer do this because it's such a tight space. And it just kind of entertains me, so why not? Let's see what happens when we tell the AI to go here. What's it gonna do? It's got a very tight squeeze on the far end of the field here because there's fencing all around it. So now that said, there is plenty of opportunity to overbuy things today because well, let's see. I was thinking I was going to need to buy some stuff for grass, but I haven't even planted the grass yet. Not going to plant the grass till I get this stuff harvested. Oh, goodness. Yep, well, the computer clearly doesn't think there's enough room, so he's turning around in the field. Ah, interesting. Okay, so it appears that the harvester does not destroy the crop when it's driving over it. So that's very important to know. Can't destroy other people's crops, and I'm gonna bet that different types of vehicles are more or less likely to cause damage to different types of crops. Don't know what those are, but you know, just for the sake of argument, I'm going to try to not run over my crops whenever possible. I will run over other people's crops with impunity, though, because I don't care. Let's see if the harvester damages the other crop here. Doesn't look like it. Although, from the overhead view here, that other soybean crop looks kind of sparse. See a lot of dirt in there. Guess that's just how it is. Slowly starting to figure out where things are on the map. I'm assuming it will let me drive off the edge of the map, but I had to go past these buildings. There's a number of industries here. I haven't used any of these buildings yet. Yesterday, when we were looking at industry buildings, I was showing that you can buy your own bakery. There is a bakery on the map, however. So you don't have to buy your own industry. You just stand to make more money. So the good news is if you only have one of the products needed by the bakery, you just go to the bakery on the map and sell it. Or any other shop that'll buy it. If you happen to have enough fields where you have all the products required for the bakery, then you can deliver all your own products to your own bakery. And I assume make quite a bit of money from the products of said bakery. But seeing as I have very few fields right now, I'm I'm just trying to go for some primary ingredients of stuff that I can sell. So I'm mostly going for the grass so that I can make some quick money off of a few rounds of silage, because I can harvest that every few months and even grow a little bit through the winter, which will be helpful. All this train. Assuming it's not coming already. It does randomly drive through here during the day. See it usually at least a few times a day because I've almost run into it driving over the tracks. Otherwise, you have to call it. At the moment, it is 3 kilometers away. 3.1 kilometers away. Oh. I'm going to guess it was parked at the other end of the map, and it had to back up out of that station to come over here. Watching a video on the train, someone suggested you could use it to move things from a silo on one side of the map to the silo on the other side of the map, because there are silos available on both sides. You can see the train track through the middle. We're at this silo over here. And then there's this silo over here. Also a place to call to rent the train in the middle of the map. Not actually sure what value that is, because there is no station here. So I don't know if it comes and stops here and you just drive it, you know, one way or the other, but for whatever reason, they did put a place to call it right in the middle. Could be handy if we need that, because it's right down the street from the farm, but I'm not actually sure why you would move products from here to here by train. The only thing I can think of is there are a number of industries here. So there's the oil mill, the debris crusher, grape processing. That's the train going out. So you could want to bring products here. And then there's a cereal factory and dairy on the other end. So I imagine if you had a bunch of farms over here making something for cereal, you might drop them into this silo and just use the train to move it in mass over here. So it's a shorter, quicker, easier truck trip. And vice versa. If you were using all these farms to make, what would that be? Making some oils, growing some of the oil products, you might want to dump them all in a silo here from this farm, then use a train to bring it over here, and then maybe you rent like the biggest truck you can get available to make just a couple trips from here to here, and you could do it quick and easy. Of course, the less time you rent that big ass truck and train, the less it's going to cost you to do that, and certainly way cheaper than owning your own. Oh, train's coming in from off the map today. Alright. Looks like we're lined up with the third car. We're on the third car. I'm going to say... Oh, it's already open. So start filling, please. Our sorghum. Loads instantly, of course, because it's not very much. And then we're going to drive right off the edge of the map, which is immediately right here. And that cost us 50 bucks for the lease. It did take a while to get here, but 2,300 for the sale, and we know we probably got an extra 250 just for selling it here instead. So, not a bad deal. I love that the bright yellow question mark information thing that was in front of the decorative building here is still here. Convenient little night light so I know where things are. Let's see, where's my cultivator? Oh, here it is. That's right. I left it up by the entrance there. Let's go grab our tractor. Grab our cultivator, and we can turn this field over right quick. Go ahead and park this back over by the play structure where I had it before. That way, hopefully I won't forget where it is. The more tools I add here, the better job I'm going to have to do of keeping track of them. Now, let's go pick up the herbicide sprayer. See if I can do that without knocking it over this time. A very dumb $6,000 mistake yesterday. And now that I've published the YouTube video of it, I feel like I can flip over the egg timer. It'll be just a few minutes before someone puts a comment on that YouTube video saying, "You idiot, all you gotta do is press this button and it'll flip it back up again." But what fun would that be? I try and remember how wide this thing is. I know it's very wide. Not sure why I'm starting down here. Just personal preference, I suppose. Come on. There we go. See how close my guess is here. Ooh. Ooh, I'm gonna be really close. Oh, yeah. Look how close that is. Might be just a little bit short there, but I can actually fix that. Let's go a little bit more to the right. Of course, my driving is not nearly precise enough to pull this off. But here we go. Turn it on and go. Whew, all right. Where's our seeder? It's back over there, right? Yep, okay. Yeah, I figured out that the power, I forget what the hell it's called. There's like basically a cultivator type thing. I think it's actually the equivalent of a cultivator on the seeding unit here. It's the front bar there to which the seeder's attached to. I believe for some crops, and this may even be true of grass, I may have been able to skip that step. That this cultivates while it seeds, so it's entirely possible that I could skip the cultivation step for some of these crops and just cultivate while seeding. But because it has the cultivation device on it, if I were to go roll the stones under right now, if I were to roll this field, I'd completely undo the rolling by action of the seeding because of the cultivator on here. So do not want to roll until after seeded. Good life lesson. Because my precision is garbage, I'm going to let the robot do this. We're set to grass. And AI worker, go. Alright, almost got our grass seed down here. I was not calling for lime, but I'm gonna guess that might be due for some fertilizer since we just had a crop in here. Let's see what the status shows. Yeah, it shows cultivated, or needs rolling. Yep. And the other fields are fertilized, but this one is not. Which is fine. I can pull out the fertilizer truck because I want to try putting a second coat on here now that we've gone to a different month. I think you just need to wait a month between fertilizer layers, and you're allowed to put 2 on. There's the light and the dark. So we're going to try a second one here and a first one here. But we'll do that after rolling. Park this probably back on that dude's driveway again. I guess I can just leave it out in front of the fire station. I'm lining up tools here. And conveniently, our roller's right there, so... Actually, forget if I did that intentionally yesterday. I think I did. Realized I was going to need the roller right after seeding, so left it here. I also tried to demolish this fence. Even though I own this property, I cannot demolish this house or this fence, which is kind of a bummer, because even if they weren't worth any money, wouldn't mind getting them out of the way. Roller goes out of ways, so I think I can a bit further here. Try this. About right? Yeah. See if these small stones disappear. Sure looks like it. Yep. Alright. Well, that's effective. Good to see that. Oh no, oh no, oh no, look at that. Well, whereas we were able to drive over this before, apparently with the roller on board, we cannot drive over that. Oof. Well, this is raised. Let's see if it damages it while it's raised. Doesn't look like it. Swing it around far enough that drop it down and then the rest of the way here. Yeah, that's a bummer. Oh, there's an example of damaging your own crop. Definitely possible. Very much happened. Damaging this? I sure am. You know, the other possible thing that I had not considered until just this moment is It may be that these crops are damaged at different stages. Like, it's in its last stage of growth before it's ready to harvest. It may be that up until last month, or any time before that, maybe you can drive over it and do, you know, fertilizer and so forth without damaging it, because it's not at its final growth state. And it may be, once the plant is all the way up like that, you just can't run over it with tractors and do any more fertilizing or anything that late stage, or you damage it. I just noticed we have something outside the greenhouse here. What do we got? Oh, look at this. Already got our strawberries going. That's object too heavy. I can't pick this up. It is 500 liters, 400 kilograms. And as we learned yesterday, our human lifting limit is 200. So definitely not lifting these by hand. How are our stats? 5,000 liters of water. So we used 1,000 liters to get 4 pallets. Actually, we're at 476 liters of strawberries. So it's about to kick out a 5th pallet. So that, if I'm doing the math right, means 250 liters of water, or 4 pallets per 1,000 liters. That's pretty good. That means we'll get 24 pallets out of 1 truckload of water. I like that. And what was our strawberry cost? It was somewhere. Here it is. Oh, okay. So our best price is restaurant, bowling restaurant, 431 per 1,000 liters. So 1,000 liters of water gets us 2,000 liters. So we'll make about $1,000 per 1,000 liters of water. That's pretty good. And I forget when we started this. Shoot. It was in the afternoon. I remember that. I would imagine we're coming up on about 12 hours. So, or does it actually tell us? Tell us what our production rate is here. Let's go into manage production. Cycles per month, 1536. Okay. I don't know if that actually tells us anything. Oh, that's tomato. So strawberry. 36. Would that mathematically work out? Maybe. Would that mean we get 1,500 or so liters of water? That'd be 3,000 liters of strawberries. Or is it 1,500 liters of strawberries? And no, we're well past that. All right. Well, we're getting strawberries. That's awesome. Let's see if we're getting lettuce over here. 0 pallets of lettuce. Let's see what went wrong here. We're at 487 liters of lettuce. 4,000 liters. Wow. Okay, that's very different. So we get 4 pallets of strawberries for 1,000 liters of water. But we get 1 pallet, assuming it's 500 liters, we're only going to end up with 1 pallet of lettuce. So is lettuce 4 times as valuable? Because if not, screw that crop. Like it's $1,600. Tomatoes are 400. Well, okay, well then I guess it is almost 4 times as valuable. Close enough that with some market fluctuation, they'd probably be very similar. Now, the better question is, will either of these be of value to me in a different way? As in, would I be able to use them to feed animals or anything like that? That would be an important question. Because if I could grow something here that I could reuse, that would be great. It's the reason I want to grow wheat. Because if I grow some wheat fields, then I can have my own wheat for the chickens, which will save me money on wheat feed for the chickens, which is surprisingly expensive, but we'll have to see how long that lasts. In the meantime, let's get to planting the hay here. Assuming I'm going to have to roll these afterwards. I'm not sure if rolling will actually put down any of the medium rocks, but find out. Nice to inherit these fields with full fertilizer, though. That's awesome. Now let's let the computer do this again, since he's so precise. And away we go. Also doesn't use up my seed inventory. Since this is doing a pretty effective job, now seems like a great time to go check contracts, because it is 5 in the morning, so seems like a good time for some contracts. Okay. Just a little bit down there. I'm going to have to come back over that. Need to make sure it's all cut before I run over it with a tedder, which is going to whip up the grass. It dries the grass is what it does. So if I were to bale this right now, I'd be baling grass, or if I wrap it with a silage baler, I'd be getting silage out of it. It's much more valuable than the grass. So I am definitely buying a baler that does silage. But the borrowed one here does not do that, because running the tedder over it dries it, and so when you bale it, you're not baling grass anymore, you're baling hay. So it goes from unmowed to mowed to baled as grass. If you wrap it, you can bale grass as silage, and then if you dry it before you bale it, then it is hay. So those are your 3 outputs, I believe. I know I missed a little over here. Let me... So if I use smaller bales, I'll get more of them, but I'm less likely to have waste. So that's kind of an important consideration here. On my practice run with baling, I figured out that's a problem. So any contents you have left in your baler basically stays in there till you fill it or change types. So considering this is a contract and I need to return probably a significant amount of their product, I'm going to leave it on the smallest bale size so that it kicks more of them out more often. Because if I set it on the largest size, I may only have enough to make like 1 or 2 bales, and I could end up with like a 90% full baler, but not enough to kick out another bale. And that could be a significant amount of their hay, which I'm worried could potentially cause me to fail the contract by not turning enough in. So it does mean I have to pick up some more bales, but since I'm planning on grabbing that trailer that automatically picks them up, I don't care if there's more bales, because I should be able to pick them up fairly fast. If I were doing it by hand, I'd be a little more worried about that. I'd want less. I'm going to go lower pickup. Turn on baler. I need to get onto the field so it's active. Starts picking this up. I got some of it. Let's see if I can get the rest of that pile there. Yep. Okay. And we got 6% on board for that bale, so that's a good start. Lined up with this. Drive past the animal rendering plant here. I don't know why this just occurred to me. Yesterday I was trying to figure out what the value of pigs were because I couldn't find like any bacon or other products for them. I imagine the value of pigs, because I think that pen held like 60 of them. I wonder if you put like 30 in there and wait a year or two if you get 60 and then you sell the pigs. is if you could produce a few dozen new pigs every month, every in-game day, sell those off for, I don't know, they're like 50 or $100 a head. You had a few dozen of them, you could make a few grand a month off of breeding pigs. Alright, so there's a dump station. That's not going to be... We're not going to put this in a silo. I'm going to bet we need this. Chunk of change. I like it. We had another contract going, the plowing, at 63%. Let's see how the plowing's doing. Yep, certainly more than halfway done, so 63% sounds about right. I think that's pretty much going to be the wrap for this stream. It is not the end of day 2. We are just starting day 2. We started at 4 a.m. Game time is now 6:40 in the morning. So we got a lot more to go on day 2, September. Day 2 in-game, since 1 day equals 1 month. Day 2 is month of September, and we've got 2 more of our fields planted with grass. We got 1 almost done with wheat. That's field number 30 right up here. And we have a contract bot running plowing down in field 69. That's going to get us a easy 10 grand. So between those 2, we could have some crops laid and some money in the bank in just a couple of hours. I'm going to go ahead and say goodnight for the stream for tonight, so thanks for joining. And this will probably be I guess part 1 of day 2, Rabid Rabbit Farm. Back for part 2 to pick up from later in the morning when those bots are done. I got a couple other good potential tracks available here. Our 4 pallets of strawberries and our first pallet lettuce here. So 400 kilograms for pallets, so definitely not picking that up by hand. We're gonna have to invest in some tools. But we have another $20,000 now, which is great, and loan capacity available. So that, then, is officially the end of part 1. We will come back for part 2 of day 2, where we will engage the rolling activities for the fields we just planted, as well as looking at picking up some of this output from our greenhouses and checking in on our chickens. So we'll see you next time for part 2 of day 2 on the Rabid Rabbit Farm.